Hey guys, Brian here with the Forest Farm Project. Today we're tearing out that breakfast room wall. It's going to make it really open in here. We think you're going to love it. Grab some popcorn, sit back and enjoy. So aside from opening this wall up and being able to have a better view into the breakfast room and seeing everything that's in there, I think it's going to be a better view. Additionally, going in and out of this door, you pull this door open, it's kind of awkward because you're against this wall right here, so you have to reach over, pull the door, boom, I'm hitting wall and door. So I've got to step back and pull the door all the way out here and then go through. That doesn't include, if you had a handful of groceries, luggage, whatever, bucket full of tools. Now I come over here to open that door. Now I've got this up against the wall. I've really got to get back around here. It's just awkward. If that wall wasn't there, you could just step to the side, open it like a door ought to be opened. So that helped us decide to go ahead and take this wall out. Okay guys, we're not completely eliminating this wall. We're just cutting it off up at the ceiling. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a box that's going to look similar to a post here. There'll be one that's similar to a post down here, and it'll go all the way up to near the ceiling. At the ceiling, it's going to look like a beam. It's just going to be a faux beam. We will build it out of some 1x6s, I guess, and maybe a 1x6 on the bottom. So it'll look like a beam, have some crown mold around it. It's going to be real pretty. So that'll take this doorway completely out. It'll go all the way up to here. So basically, that wall is built about like this. You have two 2x4s as top plates. This is a nailer. Your sheetrock screwed to these top plates on each side. Your ceiling sheetrock is screwed to this nailer. That's why they nailed the nailer down on top of here. When they did all this, they just nailed it together with 16-penny nails. And you got studs under this thing going down. Well, I can't get in here. Here we go. You got studs in this thing going down to the floor, and it's sitting on the floor joist. So gravity's pushing down on top of here, but it's all piling up on that stud onto the floor joist. It's not going anywhere. Nails are perfectly fine. We're going to cut these studs off. We're going to be down, cutting it off all the way to these two top plates, and that's where we're going to nail our fake beam to, and we'll put a bottom piece in between there. And it'll be shorter than this, but we'll cut it off somewhere in here. Well, taking those studs out, we no longer have a support when gravity's pushing down on this. So we don't want this to, over time, we won't be here, so it wouldn't matter for us, but if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right. We're going to sell this house. Well, we want this to be supported. So, if you can, first off, took a 2x4 block, and there's joists running down the ceiling, parallel on this wall, parallel to this nailer, and that's what you call this thing. It's a nailer, a sheetrock nailer, something for the sheetrock to mount to. So, we screwed this down onto this top plate, this nailer, and then we screwed it over into the joist. So now that becomes a support system for this wall instead of the studs that were there. But it's only nailed with 16-penny nails. So even though we screwed through here into this one, these two are still just held up by 16-penny nails. Over time, gravity and warping of wood and whatnot could cause those to pull down, and you could end up with cracks in that sheetrock up there, and we don't want to see that happen. So not only did we just screw this to here and to the two joists on either side of this nailer, additionally, we ran screws through here from above into here, as you can see right here. We're going to, once we cut that wall off, we're going to run some screws up this way. So this board will be screwed to that board from the top. This board will be screwed to that board from the bottom. Now it's became a screwed together unit supported by this, which is screwed to it and screwed to the joist. It's not going to fall. It's going to hold up. It's not that much weight there, but gravity over time, it could become a problem. So I think we're doing the right thing here. We went ahead and put these blocks in before we're going to cut this wall out. And I'll show you that right here. So what we did is we put a block. Our wall's going to end right here where this stud is. So we put a block just that side of that stud. It's setting on that stud, so it's good there. Gravity's not going to take it down. We put one just this side of the stud. We put one out here, and we put one over here near the end, between the joists, holding all that ceiling system up. So we should be good there. We wanted to do that before we cut this wall out because the weight of that ceiling and everything might be enough to make it sag and crack, and we don't want cracks. So now it's all good and secure. Should stay in place. We'll be able to cut this thing out and not have any problems. First off, in this other room, we've masked this all off with some plastic so we can keep the house clean, keeping our standards going. This is a grass cloth. And when we moved here, it was here, and it went down below here as well. We decided to put this wainscot down. It's a beaded board, real plywood. We like it, it's real nice. Put this chair rail on, and then we painted this. It was a bright solar orange. My father-in-law, 68 years old, said, "Who lived here, old people?" We about died laughing, but it was so bright orange. The sun come in these bay window in the morning, and it would just blind you. So we painted it this color. I like this green. Anyway, I think it looks good. I really like it, so we don't want to take it out. So we want to be real careful when we're cutting here. I marked a hole right here where the edge of the wall is going to be cut off. But we don't want to just go sawing right here. We could tear this up. We're going to saw back a few inches away from this joint and take it off. And then we can come back and we'll be able to see what's going on and trim it again right up against the stud that we want to leave. So let's get to it here. So here's the stud we want to leave, and I can actually see there was a hole here for a wire for the hood. So the stud is right there. This is where the stud's at, and I'm going to mark that first. Just give us a rough idea. Stud right there. Now I'm going to go over, that's about 2 inches, I guess. Hadn't measured that thing, but that's close, 2 1/8. This is where we're going to cut. That's why we're over from that stud, and we'll come back and trim it up later when we can see what's going on. So let's take this all the way down. Level that bad boy up. Right about there. It's not rocket science. Not worried about being perfect, but we do want to preserve that wall on the other side. We'd like to keep this as good as possible as well. And we're going to cut it off wherever that top plate is. We'll probably just come down here somewhere to start out with, and then we'll come back and clean it up as well. But first things first, we've got these 3 switches that we do need. They're going to get moved to a couple different locations. So we've got to do that. This is going to be gone, and this is going to be gone. We won't need it anymore. There's not going to be any counter here. It's going to be open space. Well, let's get this electrical out of the wall and get started here.
This house is not a good example of what proper wiring should be, so we're not going to go into great detail as to what's here. Be sure to turn off all electricity in the area when you are working on any circuits. Additionally, be sure to follow all local codes and requirements if you're doing any work like this. Check back soon for when we do the wiring on our houses on the homestead. We're going to show you the ins and outs of everything we do, so you'll know exactly what's going into our houses.
All those wires are loose. Now we can go in the attic, pull them out of the way, and start cutting this wall off. Okay, so this would be our garage 3-way. Let's see if I can get them out of that hole. We put spray foam in these holes, so they're sealed up pretty tight. But that's one. This is the kitchen 3-way. The reason I know, it runs across the kitchen. Oh yeah. Got power. Okay. Well, there's a piece of insulation. Get all these things out of that wall. We can go to work. Okay, as we said earlier, we want to preserve that wall. We like the way it looks, and if that wall gets messed up, we have to fix the whole entire breakfast room wall. I don't think we could probably find grass cloth to match that exactly. We may get lucky, may not. But either way, we want to preserve what we've got there. Anytime I cut a wall that I need to salvage the portion that I'm not cutting out, I highly recommend going out and buying some good blades. And don't use an old worn out blade, because they'll cause that saw to jerk around and it rips and tears everything. If you get a good blade, this is called, this is a Milwaukee Sawzall, the Wrecker. They got all kind of names for their blades. It's pretty good. So this thing's made for, I think, wood, metal, and I don't know what all. But anyway, I know it'll do what we need to do here. But get you a good blade. It'll pay off in the long run. It just makes the job go easier too. Dust mask and safety glasses.
It is gone, and this is nice. I mean,
Yeah. We tried coming through this door. No more pitch point.
we now have a right at 7-foot opening here.
Yep. No more pinch point coming in the door.
Yeah.
When you come in that back door, you can see all the way into the breakfast room.
When you come in that door, you can see out the bay window.
It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
way better than walking into walls and cabinets and
way better.
refrigerators and stuff.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing.
Yes, sir.
I just got chills. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, it is. All right, well, you guys don't need to watch us clean up, so we're just going to clean up all the debris that's on the floor and get all this where we can use it again, because we still got to use the kitchen tonight.
Yeah, and as far as the electrical stuff goes, we're showing you what we do. This is not to teach you how to be an electrician. This is just to give you an idea of what's in the walls. Maybe it helps you understand when you need to call someone, or if you have a problem, you might be able to figure out, hey, I think this might be the way this is set up. Call your electrician and have a better idea. But don't count on being an electrician just from watching us. There's so much more than what we're going to show you. There's 1,000 things going through my head that I don't say, because otherwise
it's
these
a lifetime of knowledge.
Yeah, these videos get really long.
Yeah.
So, don't count on this to be an electrician.
Yeah.
Or demolition as far as that goes. You need to make sure there's no water, no electricity, just anything in the wall.
Make sure it's not a structural wall that you're taking out.
Exactly.
There's so much that goes into this.
We didn't finish one thing. We put the screws in the top plate. We've still got to do these. So as we showed you earlier, this is the nailer plate that was nailed on top of the top plates. We ran screws through like this, down through it on the top up there, and we put a blocking down, screwed it to these, and screwed it to the sides. That's what's supporting that wall there that we cut out, what's left of it. Now we've still got this bottom board, and it's only nailed to this board. So we're going to run a screw on the bottom side up into there, all the way down through there, and that should sandwich all that together. There's screws holding it together from both directions. We've got this screwed to that, and that screwed to the joist. It can't go anywhere. If it comes down, the ceiling came down.
It's going to be rock solid.
Yeah, it's going to be rock solid, exactly.
And the ends of this board are held up by the studs, so it's still secure. We're just adding a little extra security. All right, there we go. FYI, the plastic behind me is just lightweight painter's plastic, and we've just got the blue painter's tape holding it to the ceiling temporarily. This was just a temporary barrier for us to do this work, and then we can tear it down. It comes in a medium-sized box. They make larger boxes, but excellent stuff for this kind of work because you don't have to have any support for it. You can literally just tape it to the ceiling and it'll stay. Works really well. Now we're done.
Yeah, now we can clean up and then maybe have some supper.
Sounds like a plan to me. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We really enjoyed making it, and it's open now.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. We still got a couple of holes where the wires were. We need to foam them to keep the bugs out. The stinky air from the attic.
That's it. All right. Have a good one, guys. We'll catch you later.
See you next time.